Okay, our objective today is to finish up our notes on exponents. So after we go over the warm-up and homework, I want to do a review of that with you. And then we are going to talk about word problems today. How do you make a plan? How do you set up word problems? And your homework tonight will consist of exponential material and as well as word problems. I think part of it will be in the book and part of it will be in the homework packet. And I will do that at times. Okay, so we have the warm-up up here. You guys did a good job of putting most of them up here. Number one, everyone check. It should be 3 to the 4th, 4 to the 3rd. Okay, number 2 is not up here. Charles, what did you get for number 2? Good job. A to the 3rd, B to the 2nd. Number 3, awesome job. X plus 2 to the 4th power. This is something that if we have time at the end of the year, I'm going to teach you what this is. This is called a binomial because there's 2 terms. They are not like terms. You have to leave the 4 above the parenthesis. Do not distribute the exponent. What does order of operations tell us to do first? Zach? Good. Do it inside the grouping symbols, which in this case is inside parentheses. Do that first. So that's why you leave the 4 above it. This whole thing, this is 1 term. Okay, so each of those is 1 term. All right, number 4 should be r plus s plus t raised to the 2nd power. So if you can't see that, it's to the 2nd power. Number 5 is 100. Number 6 is 81. Number 7 is 256. Very good job. Questions on 1 through 7. Okay, if you for some reason finish 8, 9, and 10 at some point, I have an answer key. I'll leave it up here if you want to look at it at the end of class. Emma? Yes, so since we went over that and we're done with it, if you have your binder and a tab called warm-up, put that in your warm-up tab, okay? If you don't have a tab that says warm-up, put that in the extra tab. So yes, anytime we do a warm-up, whether it's on loose leaf or in a notebook, if you rip it out and you want to put it in your binder, put it in the warm-up tab, okay? How do we put it in? Yeah, I just realized that the copy machine copied did the hole punch on the wrong side. It'll just be upside down. Charles, unless you want to put it in the right way, make your own hole punch. You know what I mean? Just kind of, yeah. I also have one on my desk. You guys can use it later. Adam? Because I copied this out of a book, and the book I copied it out of it has the hole punch on there. I don't know why the copy machine copied them backwards. Or made the hole punch backwards, I should say. Oh, well, that's okay. Any other questions on the warm-up in regards to organization or how to do it? Doug? Oh, okay, so you have an upside-down binder. Okay. All right, we're going to go over homework solutions. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to read through these. Sometimes I read through them, sometimes I call on you, sometimes I collect them. Okay, it's the first week, so I'm not going to collect anything this week because we're still getting used to routines. So I'm just going to read straight through them. Okay, so stay with me here. We're on practice 1.2. I want to make sure we have enough time for the notes today. Number 1 on the homework, 43 to the 4th. Number 2, 100 to the 3rd. Number 3, x to the 3rd. Number 4, p to the 5th. Number 5, 64, and then the other answer is 9/100 or 0.09. You okay, Jeremy?
Yeah. She went to maximum and take out revise, and she told me to give this to the other side.
Good. Okay. Number 6 should be 512, and the other answer is 0.027. You may also write it as a fraction. Number 7, 4,096. The second answer is 0.008 or 8 over 1,000. You may also write it as a fraction. Oh, sorry, couldn't see my 1. Yes, sorry. There is a 1 there. Thank you, Charles. For some reason, I thought that 1 was part of my line. I should look at my worksheet. Number 8, 262,144. And the other answer is 0.000729. Justin? That's okay. So if you got 7.29 e to the negative 4, hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, that's correct. Anyone remember, and I talked about this morning, what does that e mean? Mary, what does that e mean?
Well, I had an idea that fixed and scientific notation, you can't have any number that's above
Good job. Yep. So basically, the E on the calculator tells you that it is scientific notation, which if you remember from last year, if you did a lot of this, all it means is the 7.29, you move the decimal point to the left 4 places, and it gets you to this number that I have up here. So in other words, the calculator sometimes just cannot fit a number, so they will write it as scientific notation. They use the E to tell you it's really times 10 to the negative 4th power. Raise your hand if you knew what that E meant, if you got it on the calculator. Good job. Good job. Number 9, 16,777,216 for the first answer. Second answer, 0.00006561. Did anyone have scientific notation for number 9 for the second one? Donatus, what did you have?
I think it was 6.561.
Yep, awesome. And you could have E negative 5, even though it should really be times 10 to the negative 5th. I haven't taught you that yet. We will get to the correct form of scientific notation. Did you have times 10? Oh, you had this. Gotcha. Gotcha. And you're good. Okay. But just in the future, we're not going to use E. We're going to use times 10 to the whatever power. Okay, number 10, 2,097,152 is the first answer. Second answer, 0.0002187. What would the scientific notation be for number 10? Emma M. Good. So 2.187 times 10 to the negative 4th. And if you don't know that yet, that's not something that you need to know for this chapter, but figure we would talk about it. Okay, let's go over 11 through 20, and then I'll come back to any questions you have. Number 11, 9 to the 6th power, writing it out in expanded form. 9 times 9 times 9 times 9 times 9 times 9, 531,441. Number 12, 16 to the 4th power, expanded form. 16 times 16 times 16 times 16. The answer is 65,536. 13, 2.5 to the 4th power. I would write 2.5 out, multiply it 4 times, but use parentheses. I did that in green up here. So 2.5 times 2.5 times 2.5 times 2.5. You get 39.0625. 14, 1.4 cubed. 1.4 times 1.4 times 1.4. The answer is 2.744. 15's answer is 0.262144. 16, 0.4096. Am I going too fast for anyone? 17, 0.64. 18, 3,375. 19, 50.625. 20, 759,375. Did I mess up? Oh, that's a comma. My fault. Is that good? You know, sometimes I do the worksheets that you do, just so you guys know. I always do your homework too, and sometimes I can't read my writing, so that would be why. Especially because I write this on the board at 6:30 in the morning. Sorry. Mary. Okay, 18. You need to put 15 cubed. So go ahead to your calculator, type in 15, and either the caret 3 or 15 math cubed. Did you get 3,375? Okay. You might have just typed something in wrong. That happens sometimes. Okay, any questions, repeats, comments on 1 through 20? Okay, thumbs up, thumbs middle, thumbs down. Thumbs up, that was super easy. Thumbs in the middle, little iffy. Thumbs down, you have no clue what you're doing. So it's a quick assessment for me. Okay, thank you. Okay, before we go back to our notes, I need everyone just to look at the smart board. Okay, who can tell me from yesterday, what is that called? Charles. Okay, what is that term? Okay, good. 3 squared, but We call this whole thing what? Good. Power. The whole thing is a power. Sean, what is this called? Good. Adam, what is this called? Good job. How do we write that in expanded form? Justin, expanded form. Good. 3 times 3. Okay. How do I write this in exponential form? How do we write that, Alyssa, in exponential form? Good job. 2 to the 5th power. Okay. Any questions on that? Okay. What's another word for multiply? Another word for multiply. Charles. Okay, that's okay. Another word for multiply. Jeremy. Okay, that could work. Mary? Good. Times. What else? Sean? Factor. What's the big one I'm looking for? Justin? Good. Product. What's another word for division? The big one. Another word for division. Doug? Divided by, what's the big one that we'll see in our book a lot? Matt? Good. Quotient. So if I said we have 2 more than 3 times the amount of candy as another math class. We have 2 more than 3 times the amount of candy than the other math class. What is the expression we use for that? Adam? Nope. We have 2. What did you say? Is he? He's. I'll tell you. So we have 2 more than 3 times the amount of candy. What does more than mean? What does more than mean, Zach? Good. Plus. Okay, finish it. We have 2 more than 3 times the amount of candy, Donatus, of the other math class. Good job. Remember these verbal expressions? We're going to do more practice with these in the next week. So make sure you're okay with translating them. What is the difference between an expression and an equation? Difference between an expression and an equation. You should all really have your hands up. Briar?
The power to be more confident and active citizen in the world.
What else does it have? Good job. Equation has an equal sign, expression does not. Okay, I need everyone to open up your notes, to put your homework packet away. Open up notes to page 5.
Congratulations all students and staff on a great opening week. Have a great day.
Okay, what we're going to do here, I want to finish up a couple of the exponent problems, which is in your note packet on page 5. We're going to talk about area and volume, bless you, and then I just want to go through the steps with you of, well, how do you solve a word problem? What do we do here in regards to word problems? Jeremy? You just missed us going over the warm-up and part of the homework. Okay, it's all on Blackboard, so Jeremy, if you want, just hit play for the first 5 minutes of the video, and you'll be caught up. Okay? Okay, we're on page 5 of the notes. At the very top, it should look like mine. Everyone with me? Okay, so Emma H, letter A. How do we write that in exponential form? Letter A. Are you looking at letter A on page 5? Did you say 13 or T? Okay, never mind. So 13 to the 4th power. For some reason, I thought you said T. You're good. 13 is multiplied 4 times. 13 is the base. 4 is the exponent. The whole thing is the power. Mary, how do we write letter B? Good job. 2/10 to the 3rd power. You may write it as a fraction or as a decimal. That is completely up to you. Personal preference on that. Briar, letter C. Good job. T to the 6th power. Let's go over to our calculators. Leave your notes out. Open up your calculator. I'm going to start to go a little bit faster, so bear with me. Okay, on the calculator, let's evaluate letter A. Who can tell us, how do we put that in our calculator? Alyssa. Good. 13 caret 4. You guys are such good listeners. Good job. 13 caret 4. Hit enter. Did everyone get 28,561? Good job. Who said no? Doug, was that you that said no? Oh, Charles?
Oh, wait, no.
Say that again, Charles? Oh, okay. Yeah, you want to put in 13 to the 4th. You with me? Okay. We're just practicing the calculator strokes. Oh no, I'm still on the first part. Yeah, you're just going ahead of me. Okay, so let's letter B for practice. 0.2 to the third power. So let's plug that in. Emma, how do we plug that in? Emma M.
0.2 carat.
Good. Caret 3. Now I'm going to do what she said, but what's the other way we can do that one? Mary? Good. What's the other way we could do that? She's right, but there's still another way. Alyssa? Good job. You could also go to math and then 3. Don't forget the math button has an exponent of 3 in it. Okay? Hit enter. Make sure you all get 8 thousandths or 0.008. Mary? Did you put it in just like mine? Okay. Did you put 2/10 in parentheses? That's why. So let me do that with you. So if you do 2 divided by 10 in parentheses, and then raise it to the third power, then you get the same thing. Remember, the calculator does not have a brain. So you have to tell the calculator very specifically what you want it to do. Okay? That's why we're doing this today, just for practice. Okay, one more question. Where's the negative button? Where's the subtraction button? Charles. Great job. Awesome. Very important. Okay, one more thing because someone asked me this morning. Where's the square root button on the calculator? Did you find it yet? Yeah. Donatus, did you find it? Good. So you press second and then x squared. So you press second, x squared. Just so you know where the square root button is, Adam? Yeah. Oh, yes. The alpha just allows you to type on the calculator, to type words. So I could be like, hi, 6th grade math, and I could type it on the calculator. That could be on the calculator when you come in Tuesday. So the alpha just allows you to type notes to people. So do not do that during class. But when you have free time in elementary school, feel free to practice typing on your calculator. Justin? I'll show you. Oh, good. I'm glad you learned that. Hey, guys. Charles? If you have the silver edition, yes. If you're using one of my calculators, no. So you have to have the TI-84 silver edition to move back up. Not sure, I'd have to see it. I'm not experts with all of them. The 83 and the 84s I'm very good with, but the other ones I'd have to look at to tell you. Excuse me. So if we typed in 25 for square root, this is something called a perfect square, which we will learn about in about a month. So I just wanted to show you where that square root button is. Sean? Okay, I did second x squared. Second x squared. And then I typed in 25 and hit enter. Do you? Okay. Yeah, the 83s are slightly different. You're not interested? Okay, is everyone okay? Okay, clear your calculator. Okay, I'm going to go back to the smartboard. And I want to jump to the challenge problem. So I'm going to jump to the challenge problem, letter A. 2 to the what is 8? So I want you to think backwards now. 2 to the what equals 8? And I want you to use your brains on this one, not the calculator. Emma H. Good job. 2 to the third power equals 8. You will have problems like this on your first quiz where you need to find, well, what should the exponent be to get the answer that is up there? 2 to the third is 8. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. Okay, letter B, a little bit harder. 4 to the what is 1,024? So if you need to use your calculator on this one, you may. 4 to the what is 1,024. There is a trick of how to do this, but you will not learn it until Algebra 2. So there is a trick, but you will not learn it until Algebra 2. If you think you have it, raise your hand. Okay, if you think the answer is 3, put your hand up. If you think the answer is 4, put your hand up. If you think the answer is 5, put your hand up. Good job. 4 to the 5th power, whoops, is 1,024. Now, I'm not going to show you the shortcut now, but a quick overview is in Algebra 2, you will learn about logarithms. Has anyone heard about a logarithm or a natural log? Okay, not an algorithm, very different, but that's still math related, computer science related. So there is a way to solve these without just guess and check. What you just did was guess and check. Okay, you will learn something called logarithms, not until Algebra 2. So I don't want to get way over your heads right now, but again, you will see that in the future. Okay, let's go down to area and volume. This is really easy, but I need to make sure that you have learned this the correct way. Okay, so now we're shifting gears a little bit. So you don't need your calculator right now. I need someone to tell me something you know about a square, and you're going to fill in as I'm filling in. Briar, what's one thing you know about a square? Good job. Make little tick marks. In geometry, you will learn notation to say what properties you know of a figure. So I need you to put 4 little tick marks. That tells us all the sides are congruent. What else do we know about a square? Justin? Good. It's a plane figure. What else do we know about a square? Donatus? Great job. Does anyone know the notation we use to indicate 90 degrees, Charles? Good job. Perfect. Make 4 little squares. That tells us it has right angles. 4 right angles. Okay? A square can also be called a what? Square can also be called a what, Briar? Okay, it could be. That's one, but I was not thinking of that. That is one. Zach? Okay, polygon. What else? I'm thinking a little bit more specific. And I'll tell you what it begins with in a second. Jeremy? Good. It's also a quadrilateral. By definition, what is a quadrilateral? By definition, Emma H. Good. Something with 4 sides. So I just went way beyond your book, but those are some properties of a square. Mary? Very good job. It always equals 360 degrees. That goes for all quadrilaterals. Okay, I typically teach geometry, and we go into a lot of detail about all those shapes. So yes, it always has 360 degrees. How do we find area of a square? How do we find area of a square? Matt? Good. Length times width. However, what variable should we use? Or maybe not what variable should we use, but instead of length times width, I'm going to get really detailed here. What should we do there, Justin? Nope. I'm going to get more specific. Briar, what do you think? Not sure? I see like half hands. Doug, what do you think? Good job. Why? Okay, why else? You're right, but why else? Why am I using the same variable for all the sides? Emma M? Yeah, they're all equal. It doesn't matter what letter you use, but use the same one because a square has all sides equal. So Matt, you were right. Length times width is correct, but I'm getting very specific here. Use the same letter because all the sides are the same. All right, what kind of unit? So once we do find area, is it inches? Is it inches cubed? Is it meters? Like, how do we know what's put next to the unit? Alyssa? Good. So for area, it's for area of our square, it's always units squared. So I want you to put a big box or underline it. For example, inches squared, meters squared, centimeters squared, etc. In your own words, what is area? Like, what does it mean? You're finding an area of something. Okay, great, we know how to do it, but what is area? That's something big that you want to know about this course. Well, what actually is this? Charles, what is it?
It's not straight. It's two-dimensional.
Mm-hmm. Good. It's the surface. Perfect. It's the surface. We're finding the area. Let's say that this is carpet of a house. We're finding the area of the carpet of this room. So how much carpet is needed to cover? If we work at Kennywood and we're redoing the bumper cart ride, okay, so we're riding bumper cars, we need to redo the whole floor. Well, what's the area of it? How much, new flooring do we need? So it's the surface, two-dimensional. Charles, you're exactly right. You're finding the surface of something when you think of area. Adam.
When you get the answer, and let's say it's each side is 2 centimeters.
Yep.
So the answer is 4 centimeters squared.
Yep. Exactly.
And why isn't it does that squared mean something else other than 16?
No, the centimeter squared just lets you know that that answer is area. That's it. Because if we find perimeter of something, which is just the distance around, it's regular units. So it would just be regular centimeter, regular inches. Charles? Did you forget? Okay, that's all right. We'll come back to you. Doug? No, we didn't get into that yet. We're going to get into that, just not yet. Okay? Yeah, circle is completely different. The formula is different. However, when you find area of a circle, you're still finding the surface. But it includes pi, and the formula is very different. Okay, let's stick to Rubik's Cube is next. Who's really good at solving a Rubik's Cube? Raise your hand. Woo! Cool. I had someone 2 years ago could solve a Rubik's Cube. I think it was like in 20 seconds in this class. So one of these days we'll have a challenge. Mary? Oh, that doesn't count. Justin?
A couple years ago, my uncle
Oh, wow. They're difficult. They are. Doug? Okay. That's good. That's very good. Okay, let's go on to cube. We'll come back to that. Okay, cube. What's the formula for volume? And think about it. It's a cube. Alyssa? Good. Length times width times height. However, like I told Matt, all sides on a cube are the same. So, Charles, what should we use? Good. Side cubed. Remember, it's the same thing as side times side times side. Here is some application of exponents. When would you use them? Here are some examples. You need to find the volume of a Rubik's Cube. My brother lives in Florida. He always has a fish tank. Recently, he bought piranhas and put them in his fish tank. Who knows why? But if I said to you, I want you to go to Florida, find the volume of my brother's fish tank. What does that mean when I ask you to find the volume of a fish tank? Zach, what does that mean? Good. How many units of what? Okay. What goes in a fish tank? And if I only put fish in there, they're going to die. We're in big trouble. Good. Water. So volume of a fish tank. And of course, volume of any object is going to be different. But I hope my brother has water in there. I'm sure he does. So what's the volume of it? Volume is another word for capacity. How much can fit in something? Okay. The volume of my coffee cup or a water bottle. Same thing. Volume. The units are always what? Justin? Good. Units are always cubed. So I'm going to put units cubed. So inches cubed, meters cubed, centimeters cubed, etc. Okay. Questions on area or volume? This is a little application for, well, when are you going to use a power? When are you going to use exponents? Okay, let's do 2 more problems, and then I'll explain your homework. Okay, using powers in formula. So we have a garden. Raise your hand if you have a garden at your house. Cool, awesome. So now, eventually, maybe next summer, you could start to apply some of your math for your garden. Each side of a square garden measures 22 feet. You are going to buy fertilizer for the garden before you begin planting, and you need to determine the area. Find the area of the square gardens. Let's draw our garden. You will learn throughout the year I'm not very good at drawing. There's my garden. There's our square garden. What's the measurement of each side? Charles, measurement of each side. Good job. Each side is 22 feet. Okay, we need to find the area. So how do we find area of the square garden? The square garden. Alyssa. Good. 22 squared. Okay, either using your brain or using your calculator. What's 22 squared? I'd rather you use your brain on this one. 22 times 22 is pretty easy. Mary? Close? Nope. You're getting there, though. Donatus? Good. 484 what? Nope. It's area. It's area. Good. I will take off half a point up to a point on an assessment if you forget feet squared, units squared, okay? That's how much fertilizer you need for the garden. So it's also important that you understand what this means. 484 feet squared is how much fertilizer you need for this garden. Charles. Go ahead. Go ahead, let me hear it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. That's interesting. Never heard that way. That's interesting. Okay, good. Quickly. Yes, you're right. Very good job. I like that. Okay, let's do one more. The edge of a cube-shaped aquarium is 16 feet. How much water can the aquarium hold? So let me try to draw a cube here. Okay, and then we got to make a fish. All right, there's our aquarium. There's my little red fish. Well, it does have water. There's our water. The fish is in the middle. All right, so the point of the math here, there's 16 feet on each side. It's a cube. So volume, Mary, how do we find this? Good. So volume is equal to 16 cubes. Remember, it's feet. Mary, you think you have an answer? Okay. Careful. 16 times 16 times 16. You added. Right? That would not be enough water, and I think our fish might die. Right? So 16 cubed. Adam? It's 4,000 something. Sean? Good. And feet what? Good. Feet cubed. Questions on that? Okay, not too bad, right? Okay, I'm going to save the word problem explanation for Tuesday. Donatus? Nope. Nope. Well, yeah, I guess if we get particular, yes, you are right. Right. So if we want, yes, if we want that fertilizer, which most normal people want the fertilizer to go below, I completely agree with you. But right now we're pretending that we're just sprinkling it on the surface. But yeah, for a good garden, we all know, most of us know, you need that to go further down. So yeah, this is from the book. We should make sure that they are a little more specific here. That could be volume. I like that. Charles? Uh-huh. Okay. Right. Right. Yeah, that's interesting because you can use a lot of math when you're trying to figure out if you're making something. Do you? You're trying to figure it out. Yeah, that's good. We're going to do, there's a project we do in one of the chapters about prices. You know, what's the cheaper item and how do you know it? I like that. I'm a big coupon person. I always look at the ads when I go grocery shopping. I don't know if your parents do that, but I'm very big on that. Why? You're always buying food, so why not get the most for your money, right? Mary? Yes. We're going to also talk about that. Yep. Emma, M.
When we're working on percentage,
Mm-hmm.
my mom would have me look at coupons and get the actual price.
That's awesome. You're exactly right. Okay, hold on. Let me explain homework, and then Doug, I'll come back to you. Okay, we have 2 assignments tonight. So one of them is the back of 112, okay? So numbers 21 through 29. The second assignment is in your book. Okay, so occasionally you'll have 2 assignments. Just make sure that you write both of these down. Yes, it's on my recording, which will be on Blackboard. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys some word problems to try too. Okay, so the back of, the first one is in your homework packet, okay? The back of what we went over today, which is 1.2, numbers 21 through 29. One of them is a word problem. It's going to make you think. And then pages 12 through 13. I want you to do, this is in the book. So the second one is in the book. Numbers 13 through, bless you. 13 through 29, comma, bless you, 35 through 37. I'm going to make you think. So let me just give you a minute. So this one is homework packet. This one is book. Okay? So 13 through 29 in the book, and also 35 to 37. Some of these are word problems. They will make you think, okay? I will tell you that. When you are doing your homework in the book, please use your notebook or a piece of loose leaf. You do not need to write the actual problem down, but please show your work, okay? Also, I noticed some of you today did not follow directions carefully on homework. If you don't follow the directions carefully, you will not get full credit from now on, okay? So just make sure you follow directions carefully. Emma M? Yes. Yep, so that's my next thing. If you don't want to use the online book, if you're not sure that it's going to work, feel free to take your book home, okay? Just like your calculator number, you're in charge of your book. So if you lose it or something happens to it, you will have to pay for it, which you don't want to do, okay? Just like the calculator. So yes, you may take that home. Any other questions? Okay, so have an awesome weekend. Sean? Yeah, either in your notebook or on a piece of loose leaf. And then just leave it in your binder. Make sure you bring both of those assignments back on Tuesday. You should have time to finish this at school. But if you don't, make sure you finish it over the weekend. Bring it back Tuesday. Doug? Yes. Yes, I hate that. On Amazon. Yeah. Yep. Right, but she has to pay for that. So you pay a flat amount to get the free shipping, but it ends up being worth it if you use Amazon a lot. I love Amazon too. Okay, I'm going to stop the recording. Are there any other questions? Okay, go ahead and get packed up. Have an awesome weekend. I will see you guys Tuesday.